Today, I'm going to show you how to build a free medium AI SEO autoblogger so that you can automate ranking with medium.com. Now, you can see their traffic for medium.com, which is a free platform to post on, has gone from zero down here up to 33.9 million traffic. It's absolutely wild. I'm going to show you how I built this automation step by step from Google Sheets, automated the content creation with Claude based on what's working for me to create content and draft it inside medium.com. I'll also break down the quality control process so that you can make sure you're not creating spammy content. This is based on the process. It's helped me rank #1, for example, with this keyword. If we scroll past the sponsored listings, the ads, you can see my page is ranking #1 in 24 hours using the exact same prompts that I give you for free. I'm going to give you the template, the blueprint, the workflow completely for free. And I'll show you exactly how to build one of these yourself. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Julian Goldie. I built the SEO boardroom community in the SEO Elite Circle with hundreds of members. I have a multi-7-figure link building agency. Here's what some people have to say about me. I've published over 600 videos on SEO, written 2 books about SEO, and got over 3 million SEO traffic to my YouTube channel alone. Let's get into it. Alright, so first place we're going to start is with make.com, and this is a free kind of automation tool. It's a little bit like Zapier where you can build your own custom automations made for whatever you want, which is very, very useful for SEO. Once you're logged in, you'll see your dashboard, and you can see I am on the free plan. This is a free plan, doesn't cost a penny, and you get 1,000 operations per month. Now, I've built a ton of automations with make.com, and I've only used 964 operations. So pretty cheap stuff if you ask me. So cheap is even free. All right, so now we're going to go on to scenarios. And you can see a bunch of other tools that I built previously with make.com, but we're going to start off with a new scenario. And from here, we're going to start building out an autoblogger using AI to create content directly inside of Medium. So we're going to hit Google Sheets like so. Then I'm going to go to watch new rows. So basically this is going to trigger every time there's a new row inserted into my Google Sheet. I'm going to call this sheet free autoblogger July 2024, as you can see. And there's many ways you can use this actually. Like if you wanted to, you could actually use this to scrape your competitors' live URLs. You would just insert your URL there, and then you would link this to Perplexity. I'll show you that in a second. But essentially, for now, what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the keywords into this sheet, and then I can put my keywords in column A, and it can use that to write the content, right? So, for example, SEO training, Korea, like you can see right here. So, if we go back into make.com, you would link your Google Drive, then you're going to find the spreadsheet that we just created. So you can just add your own, create your own, and then link it to Make, which I've inserted right there. And then from here, we're going to have to select the tab. So I'm going to go with sheet 1, which is this sheet right here. And then you can set a limit, right? So you could say, for example, if you really wanted to, you could run this for 100 different articles, 100 different keywords, and create a bunch of articles right there. Now, one thing I want to say at this point, right, is that the quality control part of this process is very important, right? So we're not building a machine to spam Medium. We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're creating an automation where we can draft the content that we create with AI, which is already pretty good, already better than some articles that I used to write back in the day. But then we're going to quality control it and put it in draft before we publish to Medium. So we're going to take the keywords or the live competitor URLs from Google Sheets, run that through AI to generate the content and the content outline. I'll show you that in a second. Then we're going to plug it into Medium, and Medium will draft the content. It's not going to publish it live. So from here, what we can do is we can link this to whatever AI you prefer, right? Now, this section right here is going to require an API call, which is paid. But bear in mind, like these APIs are just getting cheaper and cheaper. The cost per article is just outrageously cheap, especially if you're using something like Claude, or if you're using, for example, ChatGPT Mini, which is extremely cheap. I think it's about 90% cheaper than ChatGPT 4 a year ago. So the actual template that I'm giving you today is free. Make.com is free. The API you would pay a few cents for per article. It's really, really cheap. And so if you wanted to, say, scrape a live competitor's URL, what you can actually do here is you can add a new module, click on create a chat completion, and then just link your Perplexity account, your Perplexity API, add a new message, and then you can say, right, with the keyword in column A, use a keyword here, and then we can use a prompt like this to generate the content outline. Now, this workflow right here is inside my free course as well, link in the comments description. But that workflow that I'm showing you is how I'm ranking #1 for SEO training in Korea using AI SEO. And this was created just 24 hours ago, as you can see, right? So you got the sponsored paid listings right here, and then ranking #1 at the top with AI SEO is my article right here for the target keyword. So if we use the very same prompt that was working previously, we're going to plug that into our make.com automation. And then we don't need to type in the keyword because that's going to take the keyword from column A inside our Google Sheet. I'm going to say, give me entities, keyword, LSIs related to the keyword. Entities can be people. I'm just going to give it some examples. Entities plus a short user intent focused outline for my keyword. Very important to plan the content before you publish it. And if you use Perplexity, then you could actually put a competitor URL inside this column right here, and that would take the live URL from the page and use that to create the content, aka reverse engineer your competitors' content, which is where most SEOs start when they're creating content themselves, right? Before we go any further, if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session where we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot using SEO, feel free to book in your free SEO strategy session. Links in the comments and description. You get all of this amazing stuff for free, one-to-one on a call, and it's completely free. Now, if we didn't want to use a live URL for the content creation or the content outline, then we can click on add a new module right here, and we can select Claude. We'll go on create a prompt. And from here, we can use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is probably the most sentient and humanized AI I've seen for writing content. We can select our max token. So let's just put 3,000 in there. And then we're going to add a message. Now, this is basically like a chat completion. We'll select user. We'll select content. We'll select text right here. And then from the text, we're going to say, right, keyword equals column A, right? So for example, SEO training in Korea. And then we'll take the prompt that is helping me rank and use that to create the content outline. Now, I think it's always best to create the content outline simply because then you plan the content up front and you're guiding AI in the right way. Otherwise, if AI has no guidance, it's going to go off on a crazy tangent and not create the type of content that we want to match the user intent. Because we're not just writing for the algorithm, but we're also writing for the user as well. We want to create something that they find useful. And so we've taken the Google Sheet, we've taken the prompt to create the content outline. I'm going to rename that content outline right here. And if you just want to do a cheeky little test run, you can actually right-click the Google Sheet, select choose where to start, choose manually, and then from here we can select the keyword in our sheet, right? And basically this automation, if you were running it for say 100 keywords, it would just create the chat completion for every single keyword in every single cell and run it separately each time, right? Now, if we go to run once, as you can see, we can just preview what's happening inside the automation before we go any further, which I think is always really good because then you can test it and you can see whether it's actually working or not before you go ahead with the rest of it. So if we click on the number one over here, we could preview the output from that particular response. So if we click on content, text, and it's generated the entities, it's generated the keywords, it's generated the latest semantic indexing keywords, and it's created a user intent focused outline, as you can see right here. Boom. Right, from here, what we want to do is start working on creating the content. So again, I'm going to create a Claude prompt. I much prefer to use Claude inside automations like this. And again, we'll go for like, I don't know, max tokens 1,000, add a message, user, add content, text again. By the way, if any of this is going too fast for you, check out this 25-minute training on make.com and how to create one-click AI SEO tools for free inside this video right here. It's free on my YouTube channel. All right, so now from here, we're going to take the content that was outputted from the content outline automation, right? And you can see as we hover over it, the content outline automation is bouncing up and down, which means we know we've selected the right thing. And we can also preview the outputs right there, right? And so we know we're selecting the right thing. And then from here, what we're going to do is say, based on the content outline, just write half the article about 800 words, source context equals, and I'm just going to insert some personalized information about me and my business. And we'll select this prompt right here. Now, I really like this prompt because it just generates nice content. It's quite interesting. It's quite humanized, and it integrates a lot of storytelling, and it writes in first person. And this is how I got that article I just showed you, ranking nicely. So I'm going to plug that inside the prompt right here. And it said, based on the content outline above, which we've selected from the automation run previously, and we can hit OK on that. Now that should generate the first half of the article. I'm going to rename that content creation part 1. We'll hit OK. And then we're going to run this bad boy once. Now, if it's looking a bit too messy, you can zoom out and click on auto align. And bear in mind, if you've not added new keywords to the spreadsheet, you would run this manually. So you're going to click on choose where to start, choose manually, choose a keyword, and then we'll run this once again. All right, so it's taking the keyword, it's creating the content outline. You can see the progress bar right there as it's winding up. And now you can see it's generating the actual content based on the outline from step 2. Very nice. Now this automation is pretty simple, right? There's not actually too many steps. Or if we preview this section right here, let's have a look, see what we got. And we have the text generated right here. Now, let's analyze the content and ask ourselves, is this AI spammy trash? Or is this high quality stuff? Or is it in the middle, right? So if we read some of the content, it says, let's kick things off with a bang. SEO is a whole different ballgame. You might be wondering, why is Korean SEO so unique? Well, buckle up, we're about to find out. First things first, forget everything you know about Google dominating the search world, right? And then it talks a lot about other stuff. It's got relevant entities throughout the content. The content itself is pretty good. Now, if we check out the word count, let's scroll up right here and we'll see how many words we got from the article, which doesn't matter too much, but we want to make sure it's around what we selected, which is 700 words. Nice. Content is good. It's got the headings right here. So for example, technical SEO, link building, Korean style, local SEO, conquering the Korean market, etc. The content is genuinely better than most human writers have hired. All right, so we've got the keywords. We've automated the content outline. We've automated the content creation, which is actually pretty good, pretty impressive so far. Then what we're going to do is start generating the second and final part of the article, which we have right here. Again, I'm going to go for about, let's go for 1,000 characters. We'll keep it short. 1,000 tokens, sorry. But I believe the less tokens you select, the less money it's going to cost you, right? And then we're going to go from role, user, add content, type, text. Now what we're going to do is start writing part 2 of the article. So you can see I've selected another ChatGPT automation right here. And then we're going to say based on, and we'll continue from the content output from the content creation section right here. And by the way, if you're not sure, when you're selecting which part to take the automation from, you can choose between these parts, right? So for example, Google Sheets, you can see that right here. Content outline, you can see it's labeled content outline right there. Content creation part 1, you can see that's actually labeled as content creation, right? So you know what you're referencing when you go through the content. And if we click on the content drop down right here, we'll select the text. And then we're going to say, based on the content, now write part 2. Pretty simple stuff. We'll rename that content creation part 2 just to keep it nice and organized. Hit OK, like so. And now we're going to just run that manually again, which you need to do each time you're running a test like this. We'll select the keyword, hit OK. We'll run it once and see what's popping. Now, this is how you can build your own automations. I'm really showing you how I'm building it so that you can understand exactly how to create the content, but also how to troubleshoot each stage of the process, how to keep it organized, how to link everything together, and how to build something like this from scratch based on someone who's already done it before. That way, you can basically create your own SaaS tools on demand whenever you want using a similar sort of process. And I can tell you now, this is way more customized to what I like. It's based on what's ranking for me. I don't need any fancy coding tool. This is basically a no-code AI SEO tool that anyone can build, right? And now we've generated all the outputs. It's not taking long to do this today at all. You can imagine if you spent all day on it, it would be absolutely amazing. And then you can see right here, we've got part 2 of the article. It's generated the content. One thing that I would say, if I read that content, is not use the storytelling method that I talked about previously. So I'm actually going to put that into this prompt right here, and I'll paste that in underneath so that it's referencing and using the same prompt to create both parts of the articles. And that way the content quality is going to be much better, right? And so we've automated the content outline, content creation part 1 into part 2 of the whole article is done right there. Then we're going to add another module and we will link this to Medium, my friends. So if we type in Medium down here, we can select create a post and then we can create a connection and you just have to select a token. Now, I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes. There's actually a guide inside make.com that shows you how to do it. So if we go to our Medium account and then select settings, then from here, we'll click on security and apps. And so what you would do is you go to security and apps inside Medium, then go to integration tokens. We can create a description of that token and then click get token right here. And that should be good to go. I'm not going to show that on the screen, but I've generated the token right now. Then I'm going to paste that in right here. And then we can select the content. So I'm going to select in chronological order, the first part of the content, and then the second part of the content right there. Lovely jubbly. Now, you can write the title yourself, or you can actually go back into Make and create a separate section to generate the title as well. You can choose a content format. So we're going to stick with HTML for now. We can add some tags if we want to. And this is one of the most important parts, which is the publish status. Now, like I say, you got to quality control that content before you publish it. If you're just spamming with AI, or if you're publishing content mindlessly without checking it, then number 1, your content is going to be trash. Number 2, it's probably not going to convert. And number 3, potentially, I don't know, but you could probably get banned from Medium for doing something like that. And so what I'm going to do is change that to draft in the publish status right here so that it does not publish before we create the content. And additionally, you want to be careful and check the artificial intelligence content policy by Medium before you publish. Now, they define AI generated writing as writing where the majority of the content has been created by an AI writing program with little or no edits, improvements, fact checking, or changes. Now, this is why I recommend that SEO checklist that I'm talking about earlier, right? So this checklist right here, you can use to manually improve your content, edit it, fact check it, proofread it, add the finishing touches that are going to make your content better for the user, better for ranking, and also better for your brand as well, right? And so you can use this checklist inside my free SEO course if you want to get instant access to that. Now, if you go down to the other uses of the AI generate section, you'll see they say, we do not allow AI generated content created solely for the purpose of ranking high on SEO results with the goal of promoting affiliate links, right? And so I'm not using affiliate links inside my content. If you're going to use this process, I wouldn't recommend that you do either. Otherwise, your Medium account's probably going to get banned. And so it's better to send traffic to funnels that you actually own, or services or products, etc. If you're an agency, if you're an e-com store, if you own an info product, if you have an email list, etc., then all of this can work. If you're just spamming out affiliate links, obviously you don't want to be doing that, right? Not on Medium particularly. So I've done all the disclaimers though. So what we can do is now run this whole automation. We're going to choose where to start. I'm going to select the title right here. So we'll just put SEO training career. So I'm going to hit run once on this content. Again, you could do this for 10, 20 keywords, whatever you want to do, but it generates content for each of these articles. And bear in mind, when you're doing this, you're creating the spine of your content, right? Now that says overloaded inside the section right there. So I'm just going to have a look and see what's going on here. Maybe we'll change that to 3,000 max tokens, see if that helps right there. Again, it's good for you to see this just so that you can understand what works and what doesn't and what to do when things actually break. The cool thing about this as well is like if you built it, then you know how to fix it when things break. So we're going to hit run once again and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it works. You never know. It can be quite temperamental. You never get it right first. But you can see it's generated the content right there. So it's got the content outline, content part 1, content part 2, and then it's going to go to Medium as a draft post. And then it's generated the content and posted it as a draft inside Medium, right? So if we hit refresh on Medium right here, we'll click on stories, and then we'll click on drafts. So if you just go to your face in the top right over here, click on stories, then click on your stories, you'll see draft section right here, and then we'll click on best SEO training, and you can see the content is ready to go right there. Now, this is a big block. I told you I've never done this before. And so what you might want to do is actually change the prompt inside the content creation section so that it's formatted in HTML. It matches the content format inside Medium. The other thing you could do is you could change this to Markdown. So if we change that to Markdown, as you can see, there are two valid values, HTML and Markdown. We'll select Markdown, and then we'll run this again and just see what happens. Now we'll run that again, and it'll start generating the content over there. All right, and then we're going to go back to our draft. We'll go to stories again. Then we'll pop over to drafts. We've got the new draft right here, and now it's formatted nicely with every sentence on a new line. And again, you use that SEO checklist because part of it mentions formatting it nicely with images, videos, etc. So for example, that could be a title right there. We can put that as a title. Insert some relevant keyword optimized headings. But you can see that the content itself is actually pretty decent. And using the SEO quality control checklist, you can edit that content before you publish it, right? And then once you're ready to go, you can hit publish. And that's pretty much it. So at this point as well, you might be asking, okay, but how much did this all cost, right? Because I've run it multiple times to show you as a demo for this video. And I mentioned that the credits for the Claude API are very, very cheap, right? Again, the automation blueprint that I'm going to give you for free, which you can automate, I'm just going to export the blueprint right there. So you can import it inside make.com. That is free to use. Make.com itself, free to use. Posting on Medium, completely free. And then on Claude, the API cost so far has been 0.35 cents. And that's the whole of this month, right? It's amazing how cheap the API is. And you can build your own custom built auto-blogging tools or AI SEO tools with one click using the processes and the templates I'm giving you today. And you can make sure they're quality before you're publishing them using the SEO checklist inside my free course. So thanks so much for watching. What I'm actually going to do is I will plug that into my free SEO course. This comes with over 100 free SEO tutorials, lessons, recipes, tips, workflows, and templates. And again, I've exported the blueprint. You can import it into make.com for free. What I'm going to do is I'll go into my free SEO course and upload it right here. So if we scroll past all the keyword research tutorials, SEO link building tutorials, quality control section, again, would recommend checking this out. If we scroll down to the free SEO tool section right here, we're going to add a lesson. It's going to be called Medium Claude Autoblogger. We'll put that on published right here. The SEO checklist is inside the video description. The blueprint from make.com is attached as a JSON file you can import into Make right there. And that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching. Link to the free SEO course is inside the comments and description. If you want to get a one-to-one SEO strategy session where we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate thousands of dollars in sales with SEO, feel free to book that in. And on this free link building acceleration session, we'll give you a free SEO domination plan. You'll discover the secrets of link building, answer any questions that you have. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website. You'll learn how to quickly outrank your competitors, and you'll learn how to increase your traffic. Plus, we answer any questions live on a call. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for an SEO consultant. We can just do it one-to-one. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it as always. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.